role is also doing something.
Sorry, guys, this has to be recorded because this
Yeah.
this is very significant in our core team. You know, we're taking a shift here from the way it was to something else. And sorry, Miro, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So all these roles, they're doing something, and from your proposal, you can, pull the money, and pay these guys. Maybe it's Yoram, maybe it's Melanie, I don't know, maybe it's Simon, or who would like to do that. This is the main question. When you choose these people, if maybe we can also say in breakout room after meeting, okay, we will like to have one secretary or one admin, like Yoram said.
Yeah, and this is good. And we can even ask for funding for it next fund, right? I mean, first of all, next fund we probably have more funding, the fund 8. But then for the next fund, we can define it as someone is a secretary for the community, and we try to get funding for this specific role, and I think it's fine.
So who's taking notes?
Let's take notes. I mean, let's take together. Record the meeting. Where are the notes?
Not me, unfortunately. I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah. So discussion of new format for the admin for C4C. Either a monthly responsibility, or find person.
Yeah, because guys, you receive pounds for your proposals, 2 proposals. You have money in your ADA wallet.
Yeah, let's make it easy.
You didn't pay nobody for now. And I mean, it's 3 months was passing by, it's very interesting situation, But I think if you find people, okay, if somebody will do secretary job, he will receive that kind of amount of ADA. If somebody will make town hall slides, he will receive some ADA, and etc. etc. Just by your proposal, it's not big deal,
No, and I think the task lists were started at some point. Somebody was starting some task lists. Simon did some on Gitbook. It's kind of all over the place right now. And having somebody that's paid to do this regular basis, they're going to be cracking the whip and getting this done. I don't do that, like I do stuff, but I don't make people do other stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it should not be per task, by the way. I think it should be overall responsibility in this at least position, that's my view. And someone that this is responsibility to make sure all the basic admin is being done. And then there is a lot of things to manage behind it as a community. For example, again, I mean, the meetings, the strategy, the thinking, the different emails being sent. I mean, there's a lot of things behind the scenes except of the meetings themselves, right? And that means discussions, the next event, and so on. That should be and that will free actually your time, Melanie, to do this type of things, in my view.
Yeah,
I think it's something I suggested already before.
For sure, I have to free up my time entirely for work. This is such a busy season for me right now, and if I miss it, I miss it for the whole year, for the whole season.
Okay.
So, and I cannot do both. So I won't be in this admin role. I think it's really good actually, because like I said, I'll pick it up if nobody else does, and then it gets done, right? If I'm not there to do it, then somebody else will pick it up and it'll be awesome. So, and I'm available, to help in whatever way possible. The other good thing I think about this, if somebody else figures out, what the admin is worth, then maybe I'll get paid too. Maybe Yoram, you'll get paid, right?
But
for me,
guys,
I can't do that. I can't say, like, you guys owe me this much money because of the work I've done. I can't do it. It doesn't feel
No.
right for me to do it. So
Not,
So-
but guys, you have
So wait, no, it's
proposal.
yeah,
That's-
yeah. So it's separate into two discussions. I can do that, and it's separate into two discussions.
mhm,
One is if you have time to do it. Two, anyway, we need to get paid for that and for the work we are doing, and we have a proposal for that, and we got funded for that. And I think whoever feels that he contributed enough to get paid can stand forward, right? And we divide the funding to these people that did more. I agree with you that you're doing incredible with all the admin. I think I'm doing a lot behind the scenes, again,
Yeah.
contacting the people, making sure the meeting is done, following up on them, post-meeting follow-ups and all of the things. And thinking, what's coming next, what's happening on Wednesday, already contact 3-4 people for tomorrow meetings, right? For who is going to present tomorrow. So all of these things, I mean, it's things that we are doing because we want to do them, first of all.
mhm,
But now there is budget for that, and we shouldn't get paid for that. And I don't think it's a shame to do so. So I think we can, in this core team, we can write whoever thinks he did should get funding. I mean, already Miro and Andre filled up the form, gave everyone the Excel that they can fill up the form, and people can say, if they deserve funding or not for the work done up to now. And from now on, we can continue and define it. I
mhm.
mean, that's my view. And for that, we raise money. And I mean, we are dedicating so much time for that.
Mhm.
I mean, right? It's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, we're doing it because we want to do it, but it's not the one process. But we are dedicating so much time, and we did it for 6-7 months with zero payment. And now we got some funding. Okay, great. And whoever wants to be part of it and contribute and help grow it is welcome. And we will ask for more money next fund. And if we get funding for it, I mean, you can be part of the funding.
Mhm.
I mean, and that's really, yeah. So I didn't write the meeting for that for my, so it's two separate questions. One, I think you and me and anyone else that thinks should get funding for the work we did in the past in order to get up to here in the funding period. I mean, the funding relevant period, right? That's one. And second, from now forward, each one of us and other people are welcome as well. If they want to continue dedicating time and energy, they should be part of that. And if you have less time now because you want to dedicate for the important agriculture work, it's fine, and then you come back. But in any way, again, this is your decision. But obviously, I prefer that you
Yeah,
be
and
part of it. But we need
that's it.
But we need to start getting paid.
It's always the draw in. It's always, and it feels
No,
like
so
it feels like I'm leaving, but I've reached a limit, a physical limit on what I
Yeah.
can do. And then this is the season. When I first joined in August, it was a slower season. It was the tail end of the season, and I could handle it. This I can't. There could be a time when I'm busy, not as busy. Maybe it's hot out and I can't do anything except sit on the computer. But for now, I have to be outside.
It makes sense to have 3 months,
Yeah.
like May, June, July, that you are dealing with the other stuff and keep just low.
I got to start doing my carbon offsetting. I've got to start actually physically doing this. It doesn't happen virtually. It's not a game. So
Okay, so my suggestion is, Miro and Andre, I'm happy to work with you on the on the table and who should get what, and then we can present it. And if anyone have anything to say about that, is welcome to come and say whatever he wants to say, and then we discuss it and see if it makes sense. Does that make sense?
fabulous. That
Yes,
feels like
yes.
a weight off my shoulders too. So thank you.
Yeah, yes, Simon, please, my friend.
Look, guys, you have in your proposal, each weekly meeting is calculated at, and you have amount.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to figure out, right? With those Fibonacci numbers I used.
So who was
I calculated them based on Fibonacci numbers.
No,
Just
no. Who was attending this meeting? Who organized
yeah.
this weekly meeting? Who is preparing slides? Who is doing, you know, that people when come, the content
So,
is there.
so up until
This person
now,
must receive something.
yeah, up until now, we have the core team meeting. We have a general idea. I go away and I finish those slides. You know, it's ready. It's done on the side. Yoram adds something to it. You know, a few people might add a few things to it, but typically the admin would be doing those slides. You know, setting them up. You
Okay,
know,
but who is
making.
admin last 3 months? When
No,
you receive,
admin
Yeah.
is Melanie. Yeah, yeah.
And Yoram.
so we know that.
Yeah.
We know now who must
Yeah.
receive.
And definitely the funding should go for that. And
Yes.
again, and
Yeah,
then
I mean, it's not that easy though, because we're all contributing
Yes,
to it.
exactly. So you're going to leave
Yes.
people out. So Simon might have recorded. He might have, you know, done.
Simon,
Yeah.
I would say something on that. Yeah, you're definitely Simon is one of the ones that contributing for the recording and so on, but it's very limited. I mean, I think I spend a week on C4C probably 15 hours minimum, if not more. Right? I mean, it's not only and so that's just a question of responsibility. I mean, how worried we are what's happening on tomorrow. I mean, who is taking care of tomorrow? Who is taking care of Thursday event? Right? So there is specific tasks that are very important and very helpful. Okay, I don't underestimate anything. And there is the overall actually being concerned of what's going on, what's doing, discussing it, making it happen, making the follow-ups. And if you feel that it's a strong part of what you do and do, so yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you should come on board and be part. But I think that somehow we need to balance. And everyone is welcome to come and be more involved, obviously.
Yeah, and
Yes,
I don't know if it's.
actually this is the situation when Melanie asks so much times. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Who will do what? Can you take responsibility and do this? Can you do this? And everybody was like, "On okay, yeah, we can do it," but no, I'm not 100% sure. And then Melanie was working, and Yoram was working, you know, and the other guys, Simon also working. But you know, first you must decide who is working what. Who is secretary? Who is admin? Who is for slides? Who is for Telegram? Who is for Discord? You know, main things. And yeah, and then everything will be easy. Then you will know, okay, Yoram is doing recording, for example. Okay, this amount of ADA monthly, go to Yoram. Nice, he's happy.
Yeah.
Okay, Melanie is doing, I don't know what. Okay, this amount of ADA goes to Melanie. Because if you guys, if you don't have that, you will go nuts. Crazy.
So my suggestion is I'm happy to work with you guys on that. Let's work on it kind of separately and then present it in the next core meeting next week. Simon, you're welcome to join me if you want. You're welcome to join us. Anyone else?
We have a task list already, guys. We have started.
Yeah, but the task list is very partial, Simon. I mean, it's very partial from the work that is being done.
It's I mean, the task list is never going to be fully complete. So what I was, you know, presenting, I think 2 weeks ago, was we all go through all the tasks that we do. We're like working on this task list together. If you find a task that is not on the task list, but you're doing it, and it has to be done every, you know, for every monthly meetup, then you put it on the list. And then when we have all the tasks, let's say after the next monthly meetup, we can divide the tasks between us. And then we decide, all right, this task is maybe a little more hard. It needs more time. So this task is getting a little bit more rewarded. And
yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's a good idea.
And define roles. But a task list is usually how you, or I think how we should start.
I think roles, in my view, is easier, but the task list, I mean, we can do a combination between them. But yeah, I think it's a good way to analyze that. So my suggestion is let's have a meeting about it, Miro, Andre, you and me, and let's define it, present it next week meeting, see if anyone have anything to say about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm only here on my phone. Otherwise, I could share the link to it. I don't know if any one of you have it. Maybe you can share it, and you know, so everyone has it as well. And
No, I'm
please,
saying that let's do a meeting between us. I mean, 4 of us, I think, and then present it next week.
yeah, sure. I'm just saying, you know, if you see anything that you know that has to be done, please add to it. Like, it's not my file, it's our file. Everyone can add to it.
Yeah, so we need to add some general things, like a general responsibility also on the overall. I mean, as Melanie said, if no one does anything, then she comes and needs to do it, right? So it means that the responsibility sits on her shoulder, right? More than a specific task. And responsibility on your shoulder, it's you know, something that is not a specific task. It's just a sense of responsibility. So whichever value.
Yes, absolutely. That is why I think it is good to, you know, give everyone like a basic, you know, income or like a basic amount of data, and then on top of that we give everyone based on what they do, because there are some things that we are never gonna, you know, see, that some work is not gonna be visible, and so people should get like, I don't know, a small amount or medium amount. I don't know. We can decide on that. And then additionally, something on the tasks, in my opinion. That is just me. Sorry, Myro, you had your hand up for so long.
Yeah.
No problem. You know, our admins in the CC admin team, you know, what is the question when we start meeting? And for example, we have first this Andre. Admin ask him, okay, what was you doing last 7 days? And do you have some blockers? This is the main question, you know. And then you speak, we record everything like here, and then Andre is speaking. Okay, I was doing that. Okay, do you have under some blockers? No, everything is good. Okay, agenda, nice. Next, okay, what was you doing? Last 7 days, I was doing this. Okay, what is your future job? Next 7 days, what are we working on next 7 days? What are we going to do? Who will take responsibility? Can you do this? Okay, nice. Can you do the slides? Yes, I can do. Okay, can you make notes? Yes. Can you record meeting? Yes. And everybody knows what are we doing and what's going on, you know? So I think, yeah, maybe you can also join one meeting and just see what's going on there. For example, Yoram, yeah, we can ask our CCN just to see how this organization is working, you know, what's going on inside.
It's a pretty standard agile Scrum methodology.
Yes, Nori, you're here. Yes.
Hey, Nori.
Yeah, Nori can send much more.
We also do the circle meetings that way as well. We always start with looking at the problem board, and we talk to all the issues, and there's just 3 questions each person answers is, what did you do this last week? What are you going to do next week? And do you have any blockers? And the goal is to unblock people so they can do their work. And then it's not a time to have a conversation. And there's also a concept of pigs and chickens. And the pigs, I know there's a story of pigs and chickens, and they say, hey, let's go start a ham and eggs business. And the chicken is just an interested party, but the pig is all in to that kind of an endeavor. So only the pigs get to talk at a Scrum, but stakeholders can come up and listen in, and we do that through recording and publishing the recording, which kind of enforces that only the people who are the pigs there can actually participate. But it's been used by software development teams for a long time, and it's pretty effective.
Okay, but it's based, but originally it's based on task, not on task, but on roles, right? People have roles, and these roles, they are being, it's not a specific task, but you have a role, right?
Yeah,
and then
so the roles need to be really clear. Like, we have secretaries and they do this. We have facilitators, they do this. Treasurers do this.
Exactly.
And Nori, one more thing. Do you need some help? This is also what we have in our concept of meeting. You know?
Yeah.
And in this case, it defined roles because I think roles bring also some kind of responsibility, and you know, and it's not a defined task that I took some pencil from here to here, right? I have a role, and it includes a range of tasks that I need to do and accomplish, and this is my responsibility to do. And yeah, we started all this discussion because I mean, in general, somehow we discussed about again a lot of admin, and that Melanie, you know, do a lot of the admin, and up to now, I mean, first of all, I mean, there comes a certain period now that she need to have balance, a different balance for a couple of months with the work in the farm for all of us, but also in terms of, you know, no one got paid up to now, right? And we have already money in the funded proposal, so we starting to discuss how to do it. And my suggestion was not to, at least my view is not to continue discussing now, but have a separate discussion about that with Simon, Miro, Andre. You know, you are welcome, and everyone else is welcome. And then we present it next week on Tuesday on the next core meeting, and then we approve it or don't approve it next core meeting, and kind of have a plan, if it makes sense. That's my suggestions. Oh, if you want, we can continue and discuss it now. I mean, I just think we need to discuss the event a little bit, which was we want just to think about that, and to discuss tomorrow meetups, and otherwise we can continue and discuss this. If anyone else wants something else.
One comment, Joram, on the GTPBL. Do we need to add a line item for that in those two?
It's a good question. I mean, there, yeah, we can try to touch that, although the meeting, I think, is on Friday, the next one. I think we need to give a small update about the GTBL, and we're trying to define the goals now, right? In the last Friday meeting, we said we try to define the why, not the goals, sorry. The why we are doing it until Friday. And kind of then discuss it, the why, and agree on the why, and then go into the different experiments. That was, it's good to discuss that as well. So my suggestion now, and if everyone agree, let's get into a little bit update about the meetup on Thursday, which is very important. That's something that is core in terms of the agenda. So that's a few minutes. Then we talk the meetups for tomorrow, what we are going to do. Next is update about the token. And then we can continue the admin, or let's have another meeting about the admin and payment. Does that make sense? Anyone have something else to add? Might need it here somehow. Okay. Delegation and tasks. Let's start with the meeting on Thursday. Anyone have an update about the event on Thursday? I will give an update. Everyone is quiet. And then dogs. So, okay, I will give a quick start. It's tough for me to speak and to update everything, but okay. So, we're going to have an incredible event on Thursday. Ocean cleanup confirmed, Sean confirmed, Shlomo and the NFT launch. I followed up actually with Sean, and I need to follow up Ocean cleanup to get the slides. Sean, Ocean cleanup. If anyone wants to write at the same time, it is, so I need to follow up on them, and I need to follow up. I also reached out to Elias, and he said that he will come. I don't know if he's here. I invited him also for this meeting. And that he will come to the Thursday meeting. So I also asked from him to get the slides. So I will follow up on the on all the 4 speakers to get a slide from them. Elias and Shlomo. Okay, so that's number one for the event. Elias, he didn't come back to me after he said that he will reply on Sunday, so the communication is not as fluent, so it's a bit challenging. But I will reach out to him again now. So that's on my responsibility to try and get the slides from them. Eb said that he will start the event right with the Einstein quote. I see if Eb can, Melanie, do you want to kind of guide the event, like in the beginning and go just to start it, then give it to Eb, then we go to the speakers. Is that will be fine for you?
I think it'll work. Or do we start with the quote? What feels better?
Okay. So the quote you mean of Einstein that Abe
Yes.
is mentioning, or which
Yep.
quote?
Yep. Because it almost feels like
Okay.
that feels like it should be first.
Okay, so Abe is kind of starting, and then we'll go into Cardano4Climate, kind of quick intro, and then we'll start going into the agenda and speakers.
So quick, I think that Abe was going to also talk about Cardano4Climate. If I'm not
Okay,
mistaken,
that's
I
great.
thought he was gonna be okay with pretty much hosting it, so I can kind of take a back role. I'll spend time, dropping links in the chat like I used to do. Really happy to do
Okay.
that. So Abe,
So can you confirm it with Abe,
sure.
or let's confirm it? Yeah, let's confirm it with him, and then I'm going to ask for the slides.
And that
Integrate them
doesn't
into
mean
the.
that, that also doesn't mean that nobody else can jump in and talk, right? Like if anybody
Yeah,
else
of
here
course.
wants to do that, please jump in. It ends up being by deduction. If nobody else is there offering, then it's like, okay, your name's in. Miro's going to be admin from now on in May. He put up his hand, so right?
Yeah, Miro, that's it. Yeah, I mean, everyone, someone else can take it. I mean, definitely, if someone wants
Guess
to
who's
volunteer.
typing right now, right? Because nobody else was. So
Yeah.
okay.
So this is Abe. Anything else we need? We need the last thing for the event is we need the slides, right?
Mhm.
The slide deck. You started them already, right?
It's pretty much done. I think that you just have to get
The slides from the speakers.
yeah, I've
Okay.
got that. I'll look that up right now.
Okay, so that's perfect. So that I have to do everything tomorrow because my challenge on Thursday, I'm traveling in addition. So during the day, but okay. So next thing is we need to promote the event, right? And Cole is here. Hi, Cole. So we have the link for the event, and it's really a great event. I mean, the speakers are great. The content is great. I attached here the link for the event. So let's please tweet it, share it. Cole said that they will do with the private Twitters and the sustainable ADA Twitters. Up to now we have, yeah, please, sir.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'll get that posted out ASAP and through all of our different channels, and I'll also mention it to the youth delegates as well.
Yeah, youth delegate. If you can, please Call. Also go ahead, drop it in the Cardano4Climate channels.
Yeah, I
just drop it
definitely will.
there. Say the event. Say to everyone, share it. And then please, everyone here, if you can share it, and then use the EZone channels to share it. We have only 10 people registered up to now. Great, everyone is there is great and important, but let's register more and let's try to get at least to 30 plus people. I think it really will be important and to have it a successful event. I don't know if we can ask Danny to present it, that this event is happening tomorrow in the after town hall. Nori, what do you think? Okay, not after town hall, like kind of during town hall, just to say, hey, there is event tomorrow.
Maybe you can definitely get in touch with the after town hall people to put an additional event slide, because that's usually where community events go. So we have a regular weekly Cardano4Climate. We could have a second slide there just to say, hey, there's an event tomorrow.
Okay, so who should we reach? It's Felix, so who should we reach?
Do we have a slide that we can give to them? Is it just the
Yes.
one that's that one?
Yeah, this would be the
Um,
one. I've got actually a photo of it, if that's helpful, or you just go in and do yeah.
Yeah, so I can reach out to Peter and the other people. I forget her name. I think it's Natalie, to get that in.
Yeah, perfect.
Actually, this slide actually is the photo already, I believe. There's a photo one. If anything has to be adjusted, it's on the next one. It's one thing that I've been doing with these slide decks is the first little bit, first 5 or 6 slides, all admin, you know, all the Twitter, different things, pictures. So it's all in one place, makes it kind of easy for catching things. Yeah, anyways. And so far, this is what it looks like, is the Einstein quote first. And that's, yeah. Anyways, we won't go into this because it's being recorded. Otherwise, we're going to give away all our big event.
Yeah, I'm just writing out to Shlomo already. Okay, so okay, so that's great. So Nori is taking care of the after town hall. Cole is starting to promote it, and all of us as well.
Can you drop a link to this slide deck in chat?
Yeah, will do.
Could you by chance drop a link to the meetup as well?
It's in the chat already.
Oh, oh, perfect. Thank you.
The slide deck. It might also, well, maybe this isn't in the agenda yet.
And if I tell them
There's
slide number 7,
sorry,
that
there's a slide deck in there for the meetup on Wednesday, that one. This is the one for the one I sent was for the event. And then there's this one as well in the chat.
And if I tell them slide number 7, that order won't change. So I'm just
Ooh.
going to copy slide number 7 in, and then.
That's it's a big slide deck though. It's our main slide deck. You don't want to just send them a photo, eh?
They have a Google slide. It'd be easiest for them to just copy and paste the slide.
Okay.
So if we can just say, maybe I can just create a one
single,
slide deck.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
From,
That's, yeah, what other people seem to be doing is just a short slide deck. Yeah, because otherwise it's a huge one and then, yeah, too much. Okay, so Nori's doing that. What else? Yoram?
So I think that's yeah. So I think that's it. Cole is going to start promoting it, and every one of us. I'm going also to put it on LinkedIn and Twitter. So let's push that from all directions. I'm taking care of the slides. The admin of the event there during the event who is going to Simon. You are going to support there with opening and all the videos and recording and all of that. Breakout rooms and all the admin there.
For tomorrow?
No, for Thursday event, for the big event.
Yeah, Thursday, if possible, I would really like to be in another meeting because
Okay.
exactly at that time I have a technical meetup for Cardano After Dark, and that's kind of an important one. So unless you really need me, someone else can do it.
Yeah, I don't know if someone else can do that. I mean, yeah, we have to see who wants to take the. First of all, I mean, in general, I mean, this event takes a lot of time and efforts to organize and bring the right people and coordinate with the right people. And Dr. Mihaela might be there. And I mean, to bring the ocean cleanup up, it took us 4 meetings. Different emails exchange, different conversations. So yeah, I think it's nice to make efforts to.
That doesn't even include the NFT ones before with Shlomo and Asaf
the
and
NFT,
So another 4 or 5
Twitter.
weeks of calls in that one. It's actually quite a big event, you know, and a lot of work. And it may not seem like it, you know, when somebody shows up and go, well, this is a pretty simple event, but there is a lot of back work being done. And yeah.
So yeah, so for me, I think it is an important event, especially, I mean, for the core team kind of to be there and to show that we are getting 30, 40 people over. That's my feedback. But then, yeah, you do as you find best, sir. I mean, there's no one here.
Point taken, but I can't make it either because that's the day and morning we have our Catalyst Circle meetings.
Yeah. So no, I understand that.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad, Simon, because you have a big thing that you had been planning for a while. So
yeah,
life happens.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if there's really no one else, I can do it. But yeah, I would rather be there.
Yeah.
Are we talking
Okay.
Wednesday or Thursday? Say
Thursday.
Thursday. And what is it that Simon needs to do? You were hoping he would do the recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, and manage the event, open the room and manage it, right? I mean, the event itself is...
I'm not going anywhere, so I can do that. Like I'll open it up early.
The breakout rooms and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just won't have names unless I can figure that out by Thursday.
Yeah, next time, I mean, I hear that there is other engagements, so we can discuss it also next time, right? And make the hour that is convenient, at least for most of us.
There was the start of a form to send out to the community to get dates and times to make it as inclusive as possible. But with so few people actually managing it, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't get done. So anyways, there's, you know, a perfect plan and we'll keep going. I think that maybe moving forward, this can happen better. You know, even listening in on how meetings could go better. I think there's going to be a lot more stuff getting done this summer. So that's good.
Excellent.
What else?
No, so I think the event is done and it's going to be an excellent one, and we'll record it so everyone that cannot make it will be able to see it, which is great. And yeah, and I think that at the time, again, I mean, there's no hard feeling, but let's make sure that we make it as optimized as possible for next time. Also with the timing, especially I think for the core team meetings, for the core team members.
Yeah, especially if Abe is hosting, then I can be in the background more like an admin. If I'm hosting and talking, it doesn't work well for me to be doing both. But
yes, so please confirm with him.
Well, I sent it in the core team, so we'll hear from him really quick, I'm sure. Okay, event.
Okay. So event is done. Next, the tomorrow meetup. So again, for that, yeah, we didn't yet. Anyone have a suggestion for tomorrow? We can, you know, one idea can be to reach out to a few, you know, ask Sustainable ADA actually to present what they are doing, and Cole is here. That can be very interesting to hear and see how they collaborate. We can reach out to Empower to come and present, or to a few other people, or if someone have an idea of someone that would like to present this project before the voting that is relevant for Cardano4Climate, or another idea if someone have for tomorrow, it will be great. One idea we had today, a session with just in general, I also asked we did something called Positive Blockchain. It's kind of a collaboration on positive impact, and I asked if they can come and present. You know, Lucas joined some of our meetings, if you remember, on Positive Blockchain, came through Cole and Raz. That can be another option. Or another idea if someone have, or I mean, maybe next time when we have an event on Thursday, we can not do the meeting on Wednesday or something like that. But anyway, happy to hear any feedback. Anyone have feedback about that? Why it is?
Yeah. No, it's just I have like these technical meetups are regularly on Thursday for me. Usually I just cancel them or don't show up and come to the event. But
No, this
yeah.
is for tomorrow, Simon. This is for the one tomorrow. I understand for Thursday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, this is for the tomorrow Cardano4Climate meetup.
Hmm.
So we're right in the middle of voting, correct?
We are
It's
starting the voting tomorrow.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it starts the next day. Pick list. Are you going to go through any of that, or because that's totally relevant for this?
Yeah, I think we can, at least, have a sentence about it and remind people.
Mhm.
And who's going to host that? Who's going to do that?
I can do that.
And do we use slides from the last week before?
I don't know. Did you have a slide, Nori, last week?
We did. We had a really small, short slide just that there is a pick list. Yeah.
Perfect.
We can copy that one.
But people filled up. Just a question for me. People filled up some of the pick list, or do we have the? I mean, we have 20.
I haven't looked for a couple days now.
Okay, great. No, but it's, before we had like 20 or something, right? Already.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I think it's another 10 or 20 maybe.
Okay.
Do you need any help populating the pick list? Because I have time today, so I can go back and start to fill that out on the voter tool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've got 1 second. Sorry if I'm like not.
He's not on his computer. He's
yes,
handicapped today on only his phone.
I've got my new laptop. I have to get everything put together because I got a new table as well, and I had to do all this cable management and everything. And yeah, it's gonna take some time today.
Yeah.
So between you, Simon, and Nori, you'll take care of the pick list.
Yep. Yeah.
And the
we'll
slides and the slides.
We'll just drop the slide from last weekend. It'll be, and then maybe update the URL to the pick list on the slide.
Can you take care of that? Because that's, that was absolutely beautiful to drop it, after Tuesday, do as much work, and then everybody else puts in their slides, and it's like, sweet.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice surprise, actually. Who's going to host the meeting tomorrow?
You still on that, or you want to?
Let's see if somebody else wants to. If somebody else wants to jump in and start doing it, I'm happy. I'm happy to help and support.
I think it will again make sense until we make kind of a that, if you don't mind, to do it tomorrow, and then we can start defining and thinking about it and have discussion what we want to do from the following weeks. From May, basically, and basically
So
we discussed before that.
Yeah, because it was two weeks ago that I suggested that I wouldn't be there, and now yeah, I'll do this. I'll do this meetup, and May I'm out because it's just too much work. So I'll be back.
Okay.
But for now, so I'll do it for this one. For the last meetup here, I'll even write it down until later this summer. Okay, it's written down. Okay.
maybe we should have a breakout just to talk about roles and how we organize. And
or maybe we can even, sorry, Noe.
I was just thinking, instead of the core team deciding a lot of this, I think we should do it at the weekly meeting to get as many people involved as possible to say, hey, this is what we're thinking, who wants to jump in, who wants to help.
I agree. And I think let's have this the meeting tomorrow. I mean, let's.
It could be part of the meetup too, right? You know, how are we
Yeah.
driving, how are we continuing, moving forward with this community? You know, it could be a really big part of it. Voting's coming up and there's going to be a bit of a lull. You know, how are we transitioning into something more? So that should be a big part of the meetup.
I think that's a good discussion, and maybe we can. That's a good way for the meetup tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy to host that breakout room. I'm going to be a half hour late. We're meeting with Harry Hellier tomorrow, and his only time, kind of like Abe last week, was 7:30 our morning time to 8:30.
Okay, so yeah, so we have to watch that the pick list. Well, Simon will do the pick list, right? And then Nori, would you host this piece about community, moving the community forward? And then the reason for the breakout room? Perfect. So we'll just make sure that we have the right time on that. So 3:30 p.m. OTC. Yoram, go ahead. You were going to say something?
Yeah, so my suggestion is, I mean, we can do it in the core meeting, right? I mean, we can start a little bit with the pick list and until you are coming and do an intro again for the event. And then Cole can speak about sustainable ADA and what they are doing and the marketing. And then basically you come in and then we can start having kind of open a discussion to say, okay, we want to plan going forward. You know, we reached the community reached to a certain point and we are thinking about the next steps.
Well, we've got funding, we've got the gimbal token PBL experiment, you know, going forward. So there's a lot of different things that we can actually do. And, you know, we're trying to figure out tasks and how do we reward? How do people come in? How do people thrive in this community? So, you know, Nori, and I'd be happy to talk to this as well, because, you know, this is something that's really close to my heart. And that's the one thing that I want to focus on is the C4C GTPBL and try and figure out how to reward people based on what they love to do and what they want to do and what they need back, you know, whatever that may be. So maybe we can sort of do a co-host thing somewhere along, and Yoram, but let's leave it open, like it's not just Nori and myself, but Yoram, if you want to talk too, because, you know, like, yeah, I think it would make sense actually, Yoram, myself, and Nori too.
There's one thing that is important. That is coming to my mind. Do we want to do it next week, or do we want to think about it, prepare some slides and something, and do it the following week?
I think we do it following weeks, like we do it this week and we continue to move forward, because someone may or may not, it should be a theme throughout. You know, how can you get involved in our community? This is what's going on. You know, this is what you can do, because a lot of people might be there, it's sort of twiddling their thumbs, you know, where do we find the information, you know, in our group? What groups do we have forming, like education, event planning, core team? You know, that this is something that we could advertise more and then see who wants to join in. George is here because of jumping in, you know, at some point or another. Miro and Andre, you know, like we've got this shifting core. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
Okay, so we decided we start this week, kind of start introducing it, and we said, I mean, we don't need, I mean, we can open it, as you said, we can open it as a discussion, that is a process, right? So the community, it doesn't have to be one meeting and decision. I mean, we start the process and communication with the community, and
Yeah.
everyone is welcome. And yeah, I like it a lot.
But we're
There's a
also,
lot of stuff to talk about. Like,
yeah.
I think we definitely should think about roles so that people know here's a bundle of tasks that this role involves, so that they know what they're volunteering for, and they're also responsible for those, and they know that very clearly. But I also would love to go back to, I was just thinking the last week or so, what's our core values and what's our mission, and
Is the
really
mission the
understanding that.
same, you know,
Yeah.
as we started out with, you know, like, because we're now, you know, when we wrote that mission statement, there was 7 of us or 8 of us or very few, and now there's 200. Does it encompass everybody's desire? Is everybody bought into this Cardano for
Yeah.
Climate? Because we have the ownership of it, and we drive it. That's why we show up all the time, because this is what we have. And I'm feeling like we need to have more people that feel like, yes, this is my community. Nobody's the lead of it. I've had some input into it. I'm doing what I love. You know, I want to move this forward. So, yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe it's, you know, maybe it's also, you know, in the next little while, we're going through mission statement. You know, what are our core values? You know, dealing with some fun stuff like that as well.
So do we want to open a Miro basically tomorrow and start discussing it in a Miro and kind of
Yeah.
put a mission place and all that kind of, we can define kind of the month of May, or I mean, what, I don't know if we need to define, basically we start a few weeks of processing all of that.
Yeah, I can put a
And
Miro board together. I have a paid account, so I have unlimited boards.
And I noticed with the paid account that you can actually do, you can go back in case there's any kind of mess up. It does it automatically, doesn't it? So there
Yeah, there's
may
a
be,
history.
yeah, there
Yeah.
may be some value in actually getting a Miro board account for C4C. Yeah.
I think we have budget for that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I got to say that the one with the C4C PBL, the directory on it right off the bat, you know, like this is where all the important information is. Great place to start. I don't know how most Miro boards are set up, but I like it for myself to be able to find all the links. And it's like, this is where we can find everything, including maybe even the link to the Miro board for the C4C GTPBL. You know, that kind of stuff. Bit of a setup though, right?
Start with that
Yeah.
copy paste from the other board.
Oh, good. Please do. That's the whole idea of it, right? Nori setting up. And do you want to take that as part of the main meeting to deal with the Miro board? We could just sort of see how the time goes. We may actually, as a community, have some fun on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be fun to just have a weekly meetup Miro, kind of like Gimbal Labs Playground does. And if you need it, you can grab a space and do some stuff. And there's a history of where we've been. And that's another thing just I'd love to talk about is for the weekly meetups, do we want to move towards a more community driven, like I want to sign up for a slot and allow them to do that, so there's less pressure on the core team to have to find people to speak and all that, and kind of drive it.
Great idea. Yeah, I thought about it also. I think it's a great idea.
Well, there's a lot of projects, you know, people would, you know, even Dylan presenting, you know, like last week, was it last week at the meetup? It's like, oh my God, I wish, you know, everybody had this opportunity to present their projects, because we've got it recorded. They can use that clip, you know, for advertising. We get to know what they're about. And then the connections are just incredible. I'm already looking at algae completely different now. I see algae in my ponds and it's like, what? It's what, 1 pound of algae, 2 pounds of carbon, you know, sequestration. And it's like, yeah. So these things are kind of cool. Well, more than cool. So, okay. So I think tomorrow, positive blockchain, you've got that in there. Are we going to ask them, Yoram? Are you?
No, so we are not going to ask them for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, again, Nori is coming half an hour late. So the way we are going to start, we are going to speak a little bit about the event, give updates, see if anything have promote that, see if everyone can promote that. We are going to speak about the pick list. We are going to give Cole and Raz to speak about sustainable ADA. And by then, I assume Nori will join us. And then we basically will start kind of a session about the community, why and goals, and start basically the process with the community, which I think is great.
Mhm.
And how it become the community of everyone, and now everyone can start contributing. I mean, it's great.
So for
And then, sorry, I don't know if we will need breakout rooms, because then we can do it for 1 hour, right?
yeah, I want to take the breakout room because that's been working really well. At least we can see, like if whoever shows up, George, if you're there, we can decide if we want to join in with the community breakout room, or do we want to do, maybe it would be a good time to combine it as a breakout room or carry on the meetup. We might not need the breakout. Yeah, I see what you mean. Just keep going.
I keep going, because also this breakout room, then, if I mean, then it limits the people that wants to be involved in the gimbal token, right? Somehow, because otherwise, yeah.
Right.
Like last week, I had to go also with the Heinz or others. I mean, I felt it. So, but anyway, I think it's important enough to have a 1 hour discussion start the discussion about the community and where we are heading. That's my feeling. But
okay, so how about we do no breakout rooms this week, and just carry on with our community. The only thing is there may be people that want to present or connect over their proposals.
yeah, but they didn't reach out to us up to now, right?
I'm just thinking, if they show up at the meeting and they want an opportunity to share their proposals.
We can give them in the first half an hour. In the first half an hour, we can give them that. If someone really wants to present something.
In the first half.
Or we played. Or the last 15 minutes, or yeah, whatever you decide. I don't mind.
Oof.
Yeah. Or they share the link, and people can stay after a few more minutes. So.
So,
Yeah, I mean, we can play it by the year, can't we?
Yeah, we can. If we feel a lot of people, yeah.
So in advertising the meetup, and even the write-up in the meetup, it might be good to just say, if you have proposals, this is your last opportunity to present. If there's enough people interested, if 2 people show up, we can show of hands who's got a presentation or a proposal to share. And if it's 2 people, they share in the main meetup. If it's 10 people, they can go into their own breakout room. What are you sensing? Are you just kind of tired of and want to be done, get the vote over with, right?
Yeah. The vote for Fontaine, you mean?
Yeah, let's just skip.
I was kidding. Yeah, it's a tough cycle, but okay, but that's the cycle we're in.
So this is what it looks like up till now. Event updates. Simon's going to talk about the pick list. Nori comes in at past, and we're talking about contributing to the Cardano4Climate community on the Miro board, playing with that, and also mentioning the gimbal token experiment and the group that's breaking off with, or the group that's focusing on that. Also the other groups, the other C4C groups. because there is ones dedicated to education, events, core team. You know, it'd be a good time. It's almost like a what's that called? Job fair. You know, tell people what the work is. You know, that these are the things that you could contribute to. Are we missing anything? There's things like Discord. There's social media management. Those are all sorts of tasks and things that people could be doing. How are we doing for time too? Because it feels like we're just about running out. Yeah, 10
about
minutes.
12 minutes.
Yeah, maybe the last 10 minutes, if you want to give update. I don't know. George asked about the token and where we are at. I don't know if you.
Well, we
want
don't.
to talk about it.
We haven't really resolved much because we're back to figuring out why we're doing this. You know, is it just a matter of taking the gimbals, dividing them up, you know, and then we're done? Or is there some sort of sustainability? Is there something related specifically to our community? Is it just straight? Yeah, we're still working on it. And part of it is, you know, the difficulty in getting together a big enough group to get something resolved. When you have 2 or 3 people in one group, and then you have another 2 or 3 that are completely different in another group, it's hard to take those 2 together and bring that together and come to some sort of consensus. So I'm definitely struggling with that. Simon, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this goes, I mean, yeah, of course, we talked about it last week, but this also was kind of happy that Nori said that that he wants to bring the room back to like, what do we want to do here? Because that is really what should we do with the token, right? Like, what should we experiment with? Yeah, I think maybe we can discuss this tomorrow in a breakout room or in the room in general.
I know Newman's on a bike trip through Missouri. He mentioned it, so he won't be here this week. But you know, we'll be missing people. But you know, if we know 1 or 2 people are missing, we can kind of still draw them in if we have a big enough, you know, consensus. But having the goal for the token and the community, they're very intertwined. But this is a project that should have a separate goal than, you know, say our mission as Cardano4Climate. That's what I'm seeing anyways. George?
Yeah, but it should be kind of tied to our goal, shouldn't it?
Absolutely, it has to be in line, right? If all of a sudden we're gonna do this to take our gimbal token to the moon, something's gone wrong, and we don't care about impact. Yeah.
It's actually a good opportunity to combine the two, right, in tomorrow call, to say, okay, we are speaking about the why, we got this opportunity to get the tokens now, we are part of the experiment, and we are thinking about the why, and we wanted to open the why in general also for everything we do, not only for the token.
Yeah, well, what could a token do to the community? What could a token do for the community? You know, to motivate us. George, did you want to say something?
Yeah, the same lines, like how do we connect the C4C under the GTPBL? So it's right now like 2 disconnected parts.
Yes. Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. As I see this meetup, we didn't have a preconceived idea, you know, for what this meetup was going to be. And now I can just see it coming together and turning into something that's going to go on, you know, through the summer. The experiment, aligning ourselves. It's almost like we're planting our Cardano4Climate. The soil's been there and we're planting it. Now we're going to start growing this beautiful community, keep growing it. So I'm very excited about that. Nori, did you want to say something else?
No, I think, yeah, getting back to basics and finding out our why and agreeing as a community, I think it's a really good thing, and might help us focus too. Like if the community, nobody steps up to say, I'll take this role or I take this role, maybe that's just a sign we need to shrink a little bit and focus on our core. And then once we get enough people back that are super interested in contributing, then we can start doing all the other stuff as well. But really understanding what is core. We've been working hard. We're starting to burn out. What's critical that we need to do and really focus on those. I'd love to get to that point.
And there's
Like-
people out there that I know want to be part of this. They just don't know what it is, you know, and how to join in. So this is, I think it's really a good opening up, preparing the soil.
Clarity on roles would help too. Like if somebody says, oh, I want to be a facilitator, I know how to do the secretary stuff, and they kind of have a vague idea, I think that's easier to commit to than this wall of tasks. And you're like, oh, which ones can I do? And you don't feel ownership around that. So having like a role that they can take on and
Or both.
expectation.
You know, there's got to be an opportunity for both, because I know when we did it in the Gimbal token, as soon as I saw the role of admin and somebody else writing it, I thought that's not my version of admin. If somebody else writes it for me, it doesn't work for me. So my admin is more task oriented. So if we could do both.
It's got to be a community thing that encompasses what we do. I don't think we should design it based on what we ideally want. There are things we do week after week after week that you do a lot of, and you've made a lot of lists and you posted them in chat saying who's going to do these, and there's a whole list of things. That's a role, or maybe it's two roles that we can split apart and say, this is what needs to happen. Who wants to take this chunk of work?
Yeah, but it definitely makes it a lot less of a headache, right, Miro and Andre? If somebody has a role and this is what they get paid for, you know, these are the things that they're responsible. And then if somebody else is picking up and helping, you know, that person that has the role could also say, these guys deserve to be rewarded as well out of this. So that's good. I know that it's not something that I can do. I've slipped into the admin out of necessity, but it's not something that I really wanted, you know, I can't manage that. Okay, Yoram, you've just got your thumbs up, not your hand up. Okay, so we're 5 minutes to finishing, and then we're going to pop off to Gimbal Labs. I'm kind of assuming I'm finishing the slide deck, unless somebody else wants to play with it a little bit. Anybody?
The one what, for tomorrow, or which one?
Yeah, for the meetup. There's stuff that people have to add, like Nori and Simon, if you can add the stuff that you want to do. I'm going to just use the same Miro board slide for explaining the Gimbal token, unless I come up with some other idea, I'll add to it. It doesn't have to be very fancy. So, you know, this is also what we have, you know, it's just the agenda. An action plan is kind of, you know, that's the one that where you can say, we can copy and paste it from last week as well, because that was, you know, by the NFT, we can promote that some more. I do have slides from the presentation, Yoram, that we could slip into this for the event. For the event promo. Anybody else want to do this slide deck?
But I think it's done. I mean, you have the link there, or I would go into the inside.
Well, it's the copy of it is, but it's empty. This is it right now.
Yeah.
You know, so there's work that needs to be done. I typically do it today, hand it over, and then everybody else adds other stuff. So if somebody else wants to do it today, and do we want to go through the swarm slides? You know, these may not actually even be up to date. So this helps promote the other community groups. Do we want to keep those in?
We can keep them in the slide in there, and it doesn't hurt. But I think the key is the agenda for the beginning, is to promote the event, right? Do you have the link for that, or I will go into the?
It's right here. So it's basically this.
Yeah, I have it. I'm going to share the event link.
So anyways, that's not too big. So I'm going to do it. I'll do it for this week. And then yeah, I'll keep doing this, and then I'm going to do the same thing, hand it over after I'm done this afternoon or later tonight, and then everybody else has to just double check it and fill it in. Meetup write up as well. Nori, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I can drop it in. Now that we have an agenda there, I can just copy that into the.
It's not very good, this one. Like, don't copy and paste that. It's our notes, but if yeah.
I can put something in.
Okay, so I'll do this and then Nori updating anything else.
I'm putting already the slides for the meetup.
Perfect, getting it done. Okay, and I think we have to actually update the meetup for the event as well, if I'm not mistaken.
This is important. What do we need to update there?
Is that's I'm just thinking that we don't have, it seems to me it was no, okay, hang on a second. Wrong one. Too many links. Okay, I'll find it through here. I think that there wasn't much information in the meetup for our event. Nope, too far. Sorry, you guys, I'm scrolling through. Here we are. Details coming soon. That's what it says. Nope, that's the meeting. Anyways, I noticed that it said details coming soon for our upcoming event. So we do need to do that as well this week.
Details coming soon. I see the event on the 21st. I see the details. Cardano4Climate.
Should have this update. This is one thing that maybe we want to relook at too, maybe even tomorrow, is scheduling. You know, some sort of when to meet tomorrow, you know, find out from people what a good time is to meet. You know, is the Wednesday meetup a good time? I don't know, you know.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, so I think we're done. Event meetup. Anything else?
So, anyone, anything someone wants to add? It was an interesting core meeting today, but it's good. It's good to speak about the things and try to find solutions. So it's important. So thank you for everyone for listening and for supporting. And yeah, I mean, it's for me, this community is so important and what we are trying to achieve. So let's work on how we make it the next phase together.
Perfect. Anything else?
Just gonna say it's good being here, guys. Hope everyone's doing well, and looking forward to these meetups this week.
Awesome. Good. Thanks, Cole.
Thank you, Cole.
Thank you.
And
I'm gonna
Mr.
hop
Tefara,
off, but I'll speak soon.
bye.
Okay.
Later.
Sounds good.
Yeah, same here. Much love to all of you guys.
Thank you.